The year is 2018. Nations are divided, paranoia runs rampant, and as soon as you think you're safe, facts become subjective.
You are listening to Conspiracy Facts. Hello and welcome to the Conspiracy Facts podcast.
Lick my pussy and my crack.
Okay, well, I am Ty Turner, just a humble tinfoil hat maker from the foothills of... What's a foothill?
The foothills is like a valley, like.
Well, no, what's the difference between a foothill and a regular hill?
From I feel like foothills is like Kentucky/Tennessee hills, like just kind of where they're not huge, but there's hills, farmland.
Is it because you can measure them in feet?
Probably, because it's American.
Okay.
I am curious as to what foothills are.
And this is your other host, Dylan.
Yes, I make the tinfoil.
And I make the hats. It's a pretty good business we got going on here.
A low hill at the base of a mountain or mountain range is a foothill.
Oh.
So, I guess Tennessee would be the foothills because it's the foothills of the Rockies.
Wow, that rocks.
Or, true.
Well, we're not in Tennessee. We're in Arkansas.
Says who?
And we are coming at you with some fucking toasty, steamy conspiracy facts today, my friends.
But not only are they facts, but they are true facts.
They are true facts and conspiracies. All right, so Dylan, today we're going to be talking about the infamous Denver airport.
Oh, God.
Have you heard about that?
No, but I've been there once.
And what was your experience like?
My experience, well, I was on a band trip to Pasadena, and we had a layover in the Denver airport, and so like 6 of us just rode the moving sidewalks back and forth for 3 hours until our plane landed. That was my experience. I didn't have money to buy anything.
Okay. And was there anything going on there?
There were a lot of planes coming in and out, people going to and fro their homes. Other than that, that's it.
Yeah, basic. That sounds like about right for an airport experience.
Right.
Well, I'm about to blow your mind.
What?
Because there is a lot of conspiracy facts revolving the Denver airport.
But how? Denver is such a peaceful community.
Well, not to the government, apparently.
What?
So, guys, if you've heard about the Denver airport before, you may know that there's some spooky shit going on there. So, we'll start off with just sort of the vibe and the imagery present in the airport.
Yeah.
So first thing when you roll up, there's a huge horse statue.
What?
A blue, demonic-looking, red-eyed horse.
That's not right.
With these metallic spikes for mane and tail parts. Veiny and muscular and just very overall creepy looking. I'll get you a picture up here. That's not it.
Is that it?
That's not it. I'm going to show you a picture here just so you know. Right here.
Oh. Okay.
That's a creepy ass looking horse.
That looks like the one from my dreams.
Exactly. It's probably because you went there and now it haunts you.
True.
So this horse... We'll get back to this horse. Other than the horse, there are very disturbing murals and paintings scattered throughout the airport. Paintings that depict children in coffins, children gathered around knives, depictions of hell and demons, and just other very unpleasant sights to see while you're trying to have your safe travels. Here I have one that it shows like someone in a gas mask. And a lot of people sort of theorize that this was like a Nazi-related thing.
Huh.
There's like a lot of Nazi imagery tied to the Denver airport, such as the runways. So if you look at Denver airport from above, you will see that they have runways coming in from all directions connecting to the airport. And many people have pointed out that it kind of resembles a swastika.
Especially when they're orange like they are.
Yeah, if you draw a red swastika over it, then it really looks like a swastika.
That's what really gave it away for me.
So it's pretty fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But this is all just he said, she said.
Right.
And on the Conspiracy Facts podcast, we're all about getting down and dirty in the facts.
And I bet they don't paint the runways red very often, so it's not very prevalent.
Exactly. So they don't do that, not even on Christmas.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's something we should worry about.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about the history of the Denver airport.
Okay.
So the airport was scheduled to open in like April of 1994. But during construction, there was a lot of interesting things happening. A lot of very spooky facts going on.
What year was this?
1994.
Oh, boy.
So first of all, a lot of people, there was a big protest from the Denver community regarding the airport because they didn't think that they needed one in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
There was already a fully functional airport closer to downtown. So they thought there's no need to spend all this money on this new airport that's further away. It doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
The government said, no, fuck you. We're putting an airport here.
Yeah.
And in the process, we might be putting some other spooky shit down too.
What?
Yeah. So
where was the nearest Indian burial ground to this airport?
that is something that I have not cross-referenced yet, but we should be fact-checking that.
I'll fact check as I listen.
Okay, good. So during the construction, the layout and the design were constantly changing. Contractors were in and out of there faster than you could flip a penny, my man. It was gnarly. And they were constantly running into issues with the construction and, people not wanting to work there. And there were actual casualties involved. So first of all, Blue Mustang, the horse that we talked about earlier, fell over on its sculptor, severed a main artery, and killed the man. And yet it still stands out front of the airport.
You must really like that statue.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like the kind of horse that would fuck a guy up.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't think it would fuck up its own creator.
Right.
It's horrifying. They also basically went back and forth forever. Finally thought they were ready to open the airport. So they invited reporters out to see their new system, their new baggage system that was supposed to be state-of-the-art. Well, when it was time to show it, the moment came and everyone was gathered around. Instead of delivering the bags as should, it just went fucking buck wild and started shooting bags all over the place.
Oh, wow.
Straight up into the air. It was madness. So they had to shut it down and delay it even more. So finally the airport opened in 1995, almost a year and a half late, and $2 billion over budget.
That's some cheddar.
It's pretty gnarly. So that was a reported total of $4.8 billion that went into making this airport. And there are some other kind of spooky things involved with the construction that we will talk about. First of all, when you're driving there, when you're on your way, you'll notice that there's like a lot of hills around. But these hills were never there before the airport was there.
Really?
And this is because those hills are actually just mounds of dirt that they had like excavated when they were building the airport.
Right.
Over 110 million cubic yards of earth were removed from the ground. So this is enough to cover 32 city blocks to a depth of 1/4 mile if dumped in a single pile.
Oh, wow.
This is a lot of dirt just to build an airport.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up.
Especially an above-ground airport.
Right, exactly. And so that's where a lot of these conspiracy facts come into play. Because they think with this imagery, with this creepy-ass horse, with this unnecessary airport that cost a lot of money and took a lot more time than it needed to, what's really there? What are they really hiding in/under the Denver airport? And those are the facts that we will be discussing today.
Right.
So can we get an update on that Indian burial ground?
So I've counted 3 times because they aren't numbered. There's anywhere between 14 and 18 Indian burial grounds or reservations in Denver. Now, there is one... that wasn't one that was redacted. It is one that was previously listed in Boulder. So, with up to 18 different Indian burial sites, it is very possible that this whole airport was built on the
Sacred burial grounds of Native Americans.
Right.
Good Lord.
And so that's some facts right there that you just kind of need to know is if you go into Denver, I mean, even though I made it through the airport successfully, you will die.
Yeah.
If you go to the airport.
I think so. You'll, at the very least, you'll get sucked into a TV.
I believe that is what has been happening to me for the past 6 years or so.
Oh my God. It's a slow burn, but it's going to get you.
Yeah.
God,
It's
Good Lord.
It's not even a good TV show. It's like one of those IFC originals where they're just like, we'll give you $50,000 to make your show. That's what show my life is.
Wow.
So thanks, Tyler, for being a part of it.
I don't know if I want to after all that.
It's like the
I'm gonna have to rethink my contract.
Yeah, it's like the layman's version of the Truman Show, except I just play along. That's why I
would play along too.
Yeah, that's why I get on camera so much.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, let's think about, first of all, okay, wait. We also do need to discuss some more freaky imagery.
Okay.
Because besides just these very terrifying murals of children gathered around knives and demons and hellfire and Nazis, there are these creepy-ass humanoid demon-like gargoyles, yes, that are posted throughout the airport. The most concerning of which is one that is popping out of what seems to be a briefcase or a suitcase, which in an airport is unsettling, to say the least.
Correct.
So some people think that this is a depiction of Satan. Others think that it's not.
Yeah. Well, what I immediately gather from this is knowing that this airport is in fact on or in the vicinity of Indian burial grounds. That gargoyle could either represent a ancient Greek, ancient Roman figure, as most do, or it could represent a spirit that will come out of your suitcase. In fact, I believe I've read of one called a hoolagok that comes out of suitcases whenever you travel over state lines, especially passing over any state with a distinct shape, such as Colorado or Wyoming.
Now, what classifies a state as having a distinct shape?
Well, like you can point at it and say, "Hey, that's a rectangle."
Okay.
Yeah, like it's a, whereas like look at California. What shape is California in?
Maybe like a boot.
Oh, a little bit.
Or an old sock.
It'd be more of an old sock. But I mean, I don't know about you, but
I didn't learn about that in shape.
Yeah, I was public schooled, and I didn't learn about shapes of socks.
Of course. Well, now, what I've learned from the 1994 Disney animated series Gargoyles is that they are actually protectors of the night.
Oh.
So maybe this gargoyle is meant to signify some sort of protection to those traveling with suitcases in this terrifying place, this hellscape.
Yeah.
Which is something else I want to talk about, is that many people believe that it is a fact that the Denver airport is somehow a portal to hell.
Oh, okay. Well, let's backtrack real quick. Do they believe it's a fact, or is it a fact? Because I feel like if you believe it, it's an opinion.
I think that we have to discuss our facts further before we can
I think we need to just
verify
discuss the essence of a fact.
The essence.
What is a fact?
Well, as of right now, we know that a fact is basically whatever anyone says.
Right.
Because there are facts, there are alternative facts, there are my facts, there are your facts. Mm-hmm. There are fax machines that you can send fax back and forth to different office places.
Right. The thing that sucks about fax machines is you never get your original back.
Right.
So we can kind of rule those out because I am not for those facts.
Those facts are stupid.
Now, I will say facts, in my opinion, a fact is whenever something is true and factual and not a lie. And that's why you can go by what anyone says, is because who's going to lie to you?
Of course.
In the world.
Of course. So, listen, we discussed the fact that 110 cubic yards of ground were unearthed to build this airport. And that it took almost a year and a half longer than it should have to be built. So I think that based on that, the facts are there is definitely something under the Denver airport without a question of anything.
And just based on what I know so far, I believe that we can offer the speculation that what is under the Denver airport is actually a man-made unearthed hell.
Yeah.
That is where, it's been known that humans don't really die. They just kind of shed their skin like a cicada. So when they do, they get on a plane and they go to Denver.
I think that's such an interesting new fact that I've never known.
It's more of a speculation than a fact, but based on the information I have from my sources, you can go ahead and chalk that down as a fact.
That sounds like a pretty solid fact.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The man-made hell, is it unpleasant the same way that hell in the Bible is depicted?
It's... Okay, so what it is it's like the difference between Disneyland in person and Disneyland on the commercials.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Disneyland on the commercials, everyone's having fun, everyone's enjoying everything. In real life, Disneyland is you walk in, you stand in line for 3 hours, and then you eat overpriced food.
Oh yeah.
So this hell is kind of like the theme park version of hell, but it's a very accurate depiction. If you take the magnitude of hell and kind of reduce it to like by a ratio. So like, instead of just like fire burning everywhere naturally on its own because it's Satan's house, they have propane tanks that they refill hourly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense because in the Denver airport or outside of the Denver airport, there are, if I can find it, let me look. There are fuel tanks.
Really?
There are so many fuel tanks out there that is like, goodness, see, I have so many links open to where I'm looking at these different facts.
It's sources. Yeah, all these facts need to be known. That's why we talk about it on this here podcast.
So, okay. So, there are several white fuel tanks that surround the airport. These are used to fuel the airport. However, conspiracy fact people point out that the tanks have 40% more fuel than any other airport in the world, including the world's largest, which is located in Saudi Arabia. Mm-hmm. Why? Why do they need 40% more in this airport? Well, because once the world has ended... Oh, wait. This is if you believe in a different conspiracy fact, which is that they're hiding a secret underground bunker for famous people in the Illuminati.
Yeah.
But I think the hell thing checks out too, especially considering how much fuel they have stored there.
Right. And by now, whoever their Satan is, because they're not going to have a real Satan managing the earthly
Maybe
hell.
they hire like Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, he just sits there, kind of spikes his hair up a little bit. And by now they have to have found more energy efficient alternatives to keep the flames fueled.
Yeah, like a solar powered sort of.
Right. And so that's why, for 40% more fuel, why not just power an underground hell? You can, I mean,
it's all here. We might as well do it.
Oh damn!
That's how they convince the government.
I believe the conversation was something like, man, I don't know what got into me. I heard the 140-gallon drums instead of the 100-gallon drums. What are we gonna do with all this extra fuel?
Well, we got this huge, underground space that we dug out under the airport. We might as well just make a hell.
Make it up. Man, the leader of the Illuminati is really gonna be pissed about this.
Hey, Beyonce. We're over in Denver. We're doing a hell here. Can you?
We're making a hell. Sorry to inconvenience you.
Hey, we're doing a hell over here. Can we get Christopher Walken?
I can't even do a Christopher Walken impression.
It's been a while. I'm not gonna embarrass myself like that.
Maybe so new conspiracy fact that's just being brought up. What if the Illuminati is actually the Church of Scientology and Tom Cruise is Allah?
That could be
a
fact.
I'd go ahead and call that a fact. Him and Leah Remini or whatever from King of Queens. Oh, my bad.
You're LG. I pointed at Dylan's phone because he was clicking his case on and off.
He pointed to my crotch because it's very nice.
He said, "That's a dope hog you got there, my boy." I said all that with the point.
Strong sausage.
Shit. Go roast that weenie in Denver, my man.
Yeah, go. Maybe that could be another alternative. They're using that fuel to fill a big old campfire underground.
That could be what it is.
They just have a big old weenie roast.
Yeah, it's like Camp David, but it's Camp Denver.
Right, exactly.
And so they bring all the Illuminati people, all the statue makers, and they put them underground, and they're like, let's talk about that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If the world does end and the Illuminati does prevail, what are they going to do with all of the statue makers?
That's right. They gotta go somewhere.
What's going to be the survival purpose of having... I don't know how many statue makers are in the world. Like 250?
At least.
I mean...
Well, let me ask you this. Because whenever I said the Camp David thing, it made me think of this.
Yeah.
Where do all the presidents go after they're not president anymore? Because you never fucking see them. I haven't seen Obama.
Yeah.
I haven't seen JFK.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Gerald R.
Truman.
The
Lincoln.
The one like 3 after Lincoln.
I haven't seen the Lincoln Memorial even.
Even Garfield. He was president twice.
So where are they?
They
could very well be under the Denver airport.
Right.
Living in a bunker, creating their own society of just presidents. And everyone's a president still.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, as we discussed, humans don't really die. They just molt.
Yeah.
And I mean, that does give good symbology to, JFK's supposed grave in Arlington National Cemetery, where he has the eternal flame burning at his gravesite. And all it does is just symbolize that, guys, we're okay. We're just hanging out in Denver in the eternal hellfire in Denver Airport.
That's amazing. That's beautiful.
It's a very majestic way to go, and I mean, you can rearrange the letters in all the Kennedy family names and spell out Denver, at least. Maybe have some letters left over.
Maybe even international.
Maybe internet. I'm not sure. Maybe you might need a couple eyes.
Goodness, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Now here's what I wonder, because that might be a fact, but there's no possible way for us to fact check because we are not presidents.
Well, why don't we go there?
I do not have the funds. The podcast is not self-sustainable yet.
What the hell, guys?
Now, once it is... We do have 2 Patreon supporters on the podcast here.
Oh.
Which equals to about $20 a month minus Patreon's cut.
Yeah. So we're making $4 a month.
Yeah, around about $4,
total,
which is very cool. But then we also do have to put that into our RSS feed and our SoundCloud and all of our space online to host the podcast.
Right. So technically, we are making negative $450
a
podcast episode.
We're climbing up there.
So instead of making one podcast, we could just go to Denver. We could just go to Denver.
But would it be worth it? So here's what I'm saying. We should probably sit here and try to spitball some facts about what else might be underneath the Denver airport. Mm-hmm. Okay. So my first fact is, whatever was in the briefcase.
Yeah, the gargoyle?
No. Oh. Different briefcase. Oh. The briefcase from Pulp Fiction. Oh. Whatever was in there is now sitting underneath the Denver airport.
I got you. Okay. So from what I know about the briefcase from Pulp Fiction, it is also what is contained in the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones. Wow. That melts everyone's faces off. Now, over time, this was over the process of 50 years from World War II to
sort of diluted a little bit. Now it doesn't melt faces. It doesn't melt faces,
but it can. It's like having a mirror in the sunlight and putting your face right on it. Mm. It's not going to melt your face immediately like it would in World War II. but now it'll just give you a nice crisp reddening until you spontaneously combust. Huh. That does make sense as to, why they can only look at it for short periods of time. Why,
And that would make sense as to why they would put it under the airport, too. Because nobody's going to look under the airport.
Right.
And maybe they keep all that fuel down there to either power this thing or to power the different sorts of locking mechanisms to contain this thing. Yeah. Which can melt faces after long exposure.
Now, if it is the same things that are in the Ark of the Covenant inside that briefcase...
Under the Denver airport.
Right. Now, according to other sources that I've read, aka the Bible, the Ark of the Covenant holds the Ten Commandment tablets, and it was formed from a golden calf that the Jews made to worship while Moses was getting the Ten Commandments from God, just because they got bored. So, maybe, just maybe, if all of this lines up, it could be where McDonald's gets their beef.
Oh my God. Wow. And that would explain so much as to why...
And that's
why this is hell.
Right.
Because I know that every time I eat at McDonald's, I wish for the sweet release of death.
Right. I mean, that's part of their
oh my God.
Marketing.
And maybe that's why McDonald's is the only restaurant that hasn't agreed to safer practices or more humane practices with their animals. Mm-hmm. Unlike every other fast food chain, McDonald's still chooses to, do it their way, in the words of Burger King.
Or Subway.
And maybe that's because they cannot disclose where they're getting their beef, which is the golden calf that was in the Ark of the Covenant and the... Pulp Fiction briefcase that is now locked up underneath the Denver airport.
Hold on.
It probably stopped recording again. Oh, I guess it didn't. Sorry, guys. Sorry to pierce the veil of the... Listen. My computer just randomly goes to sleep sometimes after a certain amount of time that I have not put in the effort to figure out how long that is, so... Sometimes the podcast just stops recording and we have to go back. That didn't just happen luckily.
I have some big updates. Now, do you have an exact date as to when the Denver airport was built?
Yes. Well,
I know it was 1994.
It was conceived in 1980, but it was open for business in February of 1995.
Do you know what happened October 14th, 1994?
No.
Pulp Fiction was released to the public.
Oh my God.
So...
They would have had just enough time to get it out of the suitcase and under the airport.
That's 4 months to take a suitcase from the props department and put it under the airport. This makes too much sense.
This makes too much fucking sense, dude.
We're gonna have to upgrade.
Pieces are falling into place.
We're gonna have to upgrade to aluminum foil because this tin foil is just not holding up, man.
Jesus Christ. So, wow.
We are breaking ground
The
here.
government's coming after us for sure.
Yeah, make sure to release us before the government kills us.
Yeah, and there's a McDonald's right up the street. We're going to have to soundproof this room.
Yeah, ooh.
Because they're going to start getting wise.
Yeah, especially once those managers who get paid like $10.50 an hour report us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got to do their job, so do we.
Exactly.
And our job is informing the public for a small fee of $450 a month.
Negative 450.
Well, a small fee to us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right. That probably explains why McDonald's also pays their employees so little, is because they have to pay for all that fuel to keep their golden calf locked up.
40% more than it takes to run an entire airport.
Yeah.
That's quite a big amount. I mean, if you're just thinking, okay, how many units of fuel need, like 6 units to power an airport? Maybe 12? 6 units of fuel?
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, so if you have 6 units of fuel,
40% more.
40% of that would be like $250.
Or let's just say it takes 10 units of fuel to fuel an airport.
Or 6.
I guess so. Then, then you got fucking 4 other units extra in there.
Free units,
man. That's fucked up.
This is mind-boggling, man.
Well, we really hit that one right in the mouth, guys. We are going to take a short little break and let you guys hear some cool stuff from us. Goodbye. Hey, it's me again, and I'm here to tell you all about the cool stuff over on Patreon. Guys, if you are a fan of the podcast, or you just enjoy my content in general, there is so much cool shit over on Patreon that I implore you to go check out. The Podcast Fam tier is $10 a month, and with that, you get access to each podcast early before anybody else does. You also get a link to download it for free. Of course, after the $10, it's not free. You get the download link, and you get extra stuff. You get extra episodes. You get the chance to weigh in on what our topics will be for the next week, and more. And of course, there's other things related to my YouTube channel that are very fun and cool and nice to check out, such as Name in the Credits, extra live streams, weekly videos, doodles with thank you notes on the back, Skype calls, Google Hangouts, and probably some more things that I am forgetting to mention. But, of course, this podcast would not have life without you. So thank you to the people who do currently support us, and thank you to everyone who just goes and checks it out in general. I also have my new merch store that just dropped, link in the description, Ty Turner merch on Teespring, and it's very cool. So thank you guys for checking that out, and let's get back to the podcast. Alright guys, and now it is time for our Every 80s Song Conspiracy Fact segment, where we listen to the top 100 Billboard songs from every year of the 1980s, starting at 1980. So we're doing this chronologically, and we are listening to the songs, breaking them down, and telling you guys how they relate to the story of The Wizard of Oz.
Right.
So every 1980s song played in order tells the story of The Wizard of Oz. Fact. And this week we are listening to Magic by Olivia Newton-John. So take yourself a little pause. Open that up. We can't play it in this podcast because it'll
increase our costs to $550 a month.
Exactly. So give yourself a second, hit pause, go listen to it, come back. And we are back. We have just listened to Magic by Olivia Newton-John, and we are ready to talk about it,
dissect it,
dice and slice. Dylan, would you like to go?
Yeah, so just looking through the lyrics and after listening to it, first off, it's a very psychedelic rock song, bringing Olivia Newton-John past her days of Grease.
Yes.
You know, so with the psychedelic rock, it goes into the whole transformation from black and white to color in the very beginning of The Wizard of Oz. Now, as we've been discussing, you and me off air, it does seem to be a bit of a persuasive act by the Wizard of Oz in the
beginning segments.
Right.
And then that's actually before it goes from sepia to color. But, you know, this song, in being psychedelic, it does take things out of the chronological order.
Right. I'd say that it's the transitional piece.
For sure.
So, now just looking through, the second verse, just kind of jumping around a little bit. Building your dream has to start now. Well, of course, as you may remember, the whole movie is a dream.
Yeah, and she wants to get out of there, and she wants, to be taken to this beautiful new land. And that's kind of all what this has to do with. Building your dream has to start now. There's no other road to take.
Right.
The yellow brick road.
The yellow brick road.
Have we heard for years? Looks like something really weird is going on with our audio waveform right now.
Wavy davy.
That's strange. Okay, sorry, we're gonna take a pause. Okay, we didn't have any sound coming through for these weird waveform parts, so I guess it's just some kind of feedback or something. Sorry about that. Guys, your homework for this week is to listen to Magic by Olivia Newton-John and report back to us on how it relates to The Wizard of Oz, because this is our take on it. And this has been Conspiracy Facts.
Yeah. No, quick criteria on the homework. It does need to be at least 10,000 words, and no more than 1,600 letters.
Yes. That's the show, guys. Thank you for listening to Conspiracy Facts. I am Ty Turner.
And I'm Ty Turner.
And welcome to the Hive Mind.
Welcome back.
We have a hot new tinfoil hat for each one of you. Guys, don't forget to check out the Patreon. Thank you to both the people who support us on there currently.
Both of you.
And then this has been awesome. I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't get beamed up and taken to the Denver airport.
Bingo.
Underneath it. Goodbye.